You don't have that authority, do you, officer?
You can bring your little thing in. You're not bringing the tripod in.
But why?
It's like, because you can't.
Because you just can't. No, that's your reason.
Are
there chairs in there?
That's the only reason.
Chairs are heavier than this, if there's chairs in there.
He's not even giving a reason.
People are heavier than that.
What's the statute, Officer Davenport? What's the statute behind us not being able to bring our tripod in?
You're not bringing it in. That's.
There has to be a legal statute behind it.
Former NYPD officer like Kenneth Baker.
Don't worry about where I work. Don't worry about where I work.
Welcome to the Freedom and Truth channel. I am Leroy Truth for Leroy Truth Investigations, where we hold police and public officials accountable for their propagation of harassment, assault, terrorism, and more to the population of the United States of America. Today, the village that keeps on giving.
Yeah, you allow me.
Excuse me, I'm talking right now.
Yeah, you allow me.
Excuse me, I'm talking right now. Your time is done. I'm talking right now.
Okay, you don't have to talk to me like I'm a toddler.
You are interrupting me.
Cold Spring, New York, the village of Cold Spring, New York. I've been working on this story for months now, and this meeting that I attended, Scalzo Photo attended. Make sure to subscribe to Scalzo Photo, Long Island Audit's Sean as well. And Sean came to the village of Cold Spring so he can share his We the People's message to the mayor of Cold Spring, Kathleen FOLEY, she was so dismissive of him. She talked to him like he was a little freaking toddler. It was disgusting. She had no care what he had to say. But before he even gets into the meeting, the police there decided, under the orders of Officer in Charge Larry Berg,
You cannot take something in that can be used as a weapon.
that tripods are a weapon.
Tripod's not allowed in there.
Why is it not allowed?
It's not allowed in there.
Well, why?
We always bring it to public.
It's not allowed in there. That's all I have to say. It's not allowed in there.
Okay,
You can't bring it in there.
Can you explain? We've got a public
I'm not
meeting.
explaining. I'm not explaining. It's not allowed.
That is, of course, in direct violation of the open meeting laws that allows journalists to bring whatever equipment they need to bring with them. However, I went there again yesterday to speak, and miraculously, they didn't even ask about my tripod. Important note, this video has two parts. First part is where the cop is hassling Sean of Long Island Audit, not allowing him to bring his tripod. The second part is where Sean, Scalzo Photo, and myself speak directly to the village mayor of Cold Spring, New York, Kathleen FOLEY, and demand she fire a brutal police officer in the village, Officer Kenneth Baker, and she refuses. She's dismissive, disdainful. Watch this. Welcome, everyone. I am Leroy Truth for Leroy Truth Investigations in front of the infamous village of Cold Spring Village Hall. And I'm going to be speaking tonight along with Long Island Audit, Scalzo Photo.
Hey, how are you, sir?
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Okay. That's not going to be able to go inside. Your phone with you, but the tripod's going to stay.
Oh, I have to set up my camera.
Excuse me?
I have to set up my camera stuff.
Tripod's not allowed in there.
Why is it not allowed?
It's not allowed in there.
But why?
We always bring it to public.
It's not
meeting.
allowed in there. That's all I have to say. It's not allowed in there.
Okay,
You can't bring it in there.
Can you explain? We've got a public
I'm not
meeting.
explaining. I'm not explaining. It's not allowed.
Let's use some intelligence. Let's speak with communication skills.
If you guys want to come in, or you want to?
Yeah, but we bring tripods to public meetings.
It's not going in this meeting.
Well, why is that, sir? Can you explain why that is?
It's not going in there. It's not.
I was there.
It's not
I was in the meeting 2 months ago, and I brought my tripod, and no one had a problem with
It's
it.
not going in now.
What's the statute
So
with
has
it?
that been changed, or?
I don't know. This is the first time I've done one of these.
So how do you know? Who told you that?
It's not going in. That's all.
Can you just tell me who told you that? Who gave you the authority to do that?
Excuse me.
You don't have that authority, do you, officer?
Excuse me?
You don't have that authority, do you?
I have the authority to tell you that this is not to go in there. Yeah.
Who gave you that authority? That's what I'm asking you, officer. You're here to enforce the laws, right? Not to enforce tripods?
Tripod's not going in.
But who gave you that authority?
Tripod's not going in.
I'm asking you, can you call your supervisor?
No, I'm not.
Why not? Why wouldn't you call your supervisor?
Because I'm not calling my supervisor. I don't need to call my supervisor.
I'm telling you to call your supervisor.
I don't care what you tell me. You can tell me what's doing is blue.
Yeah, but why don't you just call your supervisor and you can de-escalate, and he can de-escalate the whole thing, and he can explain.
There's nothing to de-escalate.
Yes, there is. You are not acting very professionally or like a public servant right now. This is nothing dangerous about what I'm bringing in here. This is just a tripod.
It's not going in there.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Not going in.
You're not even telling me who gave you the authority. Who gave you that authority, Officer Davenport?
It's not going in there.
Who gave you the authority?
It's not going in there.
I'm just asking you who gave you the authority
It's
to
not going in
exclude.
there. I'm not going to explain
Can you show it to me?
I'm explaining anything to you. It's
But
not going
why
in.
wouldn't you?
It's not going in.
But why wouldn't you, officer?
Because I'm not going to.
I'm not understanding what you're trying to do here. You're trying to keep the press out?
Just keep it going.
Okay,
No,
but
I'm
are you-
keeping the press
I
out.
don't
You
wanna
can bring your little thing in. You're not bringing the tripod in.
But why?
Because if you can't.
Because you just can't.
No.
That's your reason.
That's
Are there chairs
that's
in there?
That's the only reason.
Chairs are heavier than this. If there's chairs in there.
He's not even giving a reason.
People are heavier than that.
What's the statute, Officer Davenport? What's the statute behind us not being able to bring our tripod
You're
in?
law enforcement,
You're not bringing it in. That's.
There has to be a legal statute
Are you
behind
a
it.
former NYPD officer like Kenneth Baker?
Don't worry about where I work.
Is that you
okay?
were from?
Don't worry about where
Listen,
I work.
you need to calm down. There's no reason to be all
I'm not-
upset.
excuse me,
There's
guys.
no reason to be all
Move to the
upset.
side, please.
There's
Please
no reason
move
to
the
be all
side.
upset.
Come on forward.
You don't need to touch my
Dude,
place
don't
on
put
my
your hands on me.
I just
Don't
pushed your
put-
hand
don't
away.
put your hands on me.
I pushed your hand away from touching
Come
my
on, come
equipment.
on.
That's all.
Excuse me?
You don't need to touch my equipment.
No. Put your hands on me again. You gotta be out of here, okay?
I just pushed your hand gently away from grabbing my equipment. That's all. You shouldn't be grabbing my equipment. That's all.
I didn't grab you. I moved your front to the side. I didn't grab your
Well, yeah, you tried.
No,
you touched
no, I
me.
didn't. I didn't.
Yeah, I'm
No,
sure
I
you
didn't.
did.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I have it on video. You
I
did.
don't care. I don't care.
I mean, you don't care about a lot of things, Officer Davenport. Officer Davenport, there's no reason to treat the members of the public this way.
I'm not treating you guys.
You
I think
are.
you guys are great. You do
get the
you
camera
do your
locker.
own thing, but you're not bringing the tripod.
Oh, that's Aaron Freemark right there. Aaron Freemark running for a
you're
board
not answering
board
why.
seat.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Just move to the side so that people can come in.
Well, we want to come in.
You can, but
Yeah, let us come in. Just step aside and let us come in.
you go ahead and go on in. I guarantee this is not going to go in.
But you have no authority to do that.
Okay, thank you.
The only authority you have to keep my tripod out is you're going to use physical force. That's the only authority. I'm asking you to call a supervisor. You don't want to call a supervisor, Officer Davenport. What is the issue
I'm
here?
the person that's on duty today.
You're not in charge of this building, Officer Davenport. You're not.
Listen, right
you're
now,
not
you
an
guys,
elected
you guys
official.
are interrupting
You're
the
not.
meeting.
I'm not interrupting anything.
Yes, you are.
You're not an elected official.
The
You're not an elected official.
Yeah.
You're not an elected official. You have no authority to make rules of what comes
Okay.
in and out of a building.
Okay, I guarantee you.
Can you
I
exclude
guarantee
people
you-
based on their color?
I can guarantee
Can you
you
exclude
this is
people
gonna
based
go
on their
in.
race? Can you exclude people from this building based on their race? Can you just make based on what you're telling me? You can make any rule.
You tell me.
You can make any rule you
You
want.
tell me. Yeah, I guess if you say so. If you say so.
But who? Can you just tell me who gave you the authority to exclude
I'm
my
not telling you
network?
anything. You keep talking. You keep
Why?
you're
It's
running
called
your mouth.
conversation.
Yeah.
No, it's not running mouth. It's called
Because
conversation.
you got your buddy videotaping. me.
Documenting.
And I'm supposed to be, I guess, intimidated. You know, because you guys doing
If
this.
you're
you know?
intimidated by a camera, that's it.
Trust me, I'm not. Trust me.
So I agree.
Trust me, I'm
It's a
not.
good thing that you're not, Officer Davenport, because you shouldn't be. It's just for camera.
Hey,
You're
you
not
are.
worried
You're being
about.
extremely polite, but you cannot bring it out. I'm trying to be polite too. I'm not trying to be rude. I haven't raised my voice at
Okay.
you.
All
I'm
right.
just telling you, you can't bring it.
It's just ridiculous, and you're not.
I know.
And it's ridiculous that you won't even say where you're getting this perceived authority, and you won't call your supervisor.
I'm not calling anybody.
It's not your policy of the ability to call
No,
a
I'm not
supervisor.
calling anybody.
I'm requesting a supervisor.
I'm not getting a supervisor.
So you're going against your policy.
I'm not going to give my policy.
It is your policy.
No, it's not my policy. For what? If I had a valid reason to call my supervisor.
The valid reason is someone is
No.
asking you, a member of the public is asking you to speak to your supervisor. That's a valid reason. Because you are
I'm
trying
telling
to.
you, you can't bring it in and get
Oh, yeah, of course.
speak to supervisor. There's no need for me to call
Of course, I'm not going to bring it in because what am I going to go? You're an armed man. What am I going to? I'm a
Come on,
journalist.
please. Come
I'm
on.
not. I'm not going to just go
Come
past
on,
you. Of course, I'm not.
Come
Because you're
on.
acting all tough. Like if you
not
weren't
acting
having.
tough.
Yes, you
I'm not
are.
acting
You
tough.
say you're not going to bring that in here.
You're
Of
not
course, I'm
gonna
not.
bring it in.
Of course, I'm not. But
course you won't.
but if you weren't wearing that uniform, and you didn't have that gun, you wouldn't talk to me that way. But it's okay. It's fine. You wouldn't.
If you say
You
so.
wouldn't.
If you say so.
I know you wouldn't.
Okay, if you say so.
At least I know you wouldn't.
But Davenport, one thing you said is that you were being polite, and whether you're being polite or not polite, you're still shredding, rights, and you're not putting the statute there behind that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right,
That's another typical hater of
Makes no
freedom
sense
and
whatsoever.
the people.
They looked over it and approved it. They thought it was a wonderful idea.
And we start the timer. Go ahead. Sir, are you speaking?
Yeah, I am. Good evening. My name is Sean Paul Reyes. I'm an independent journalist and owner of Long Island Audit, Inc. I want to be clear. I am not a resident of the village of Cold Spring. I do, however, pay New York state and federal taxes, which I'm sure the village has no problem receiving. I am here today to peacefully exercise my First Amendment right to petition my grievances to my government. Firstly, Mayor Kathleen FOLEY, shame on you. You were elected to serve the people of Cold Spring. Mayor FOLEY, you hired Kenneth Baker as a patrolman for the village of Cold Spring, knowing he was a disgraced former NYPD officer with 8 lawsuits against him, costing taxpayers over $300,000. Do you honestly believe that decision was in the best interest of the constituents? I think not. Truthfully, it sounds like you owed someone a favor. Secondly, when confronted publicly with this information by Leroy Truth Investigations, you doubled down. You treated Leroy with such disdain and had him thrown out of the building. Lastly, if all that wasn't bad enough, you are now censoring public comments on the village's social media, which I will remind you is illegal, Mayor, and will lead to the village being sued in federal court for First Amendment violations. I guess you don't care. You've already demonstrated you will employ a disgraced public servant with over 8 lawsuits against him for constitutional rights violations. Mayor FOLEY, ignoring the public's legitimate concerns regarding your hiring practices and Officer Baker's pattern of tyranny and corruption isn't going to solve anything. In fact, it will only hurt the village as this story becomes more prominent. I am sure tourists will boycott the village, costing you dearly in revenue. You need to step up and do your job. We, the people, demand that you fire Officer Kenneth Baker. He has no business serving the public in any capacity, let alone as a law enforcement officer. Fire him before he bankrupts the village of Cold Spring with another lawsuit. Choose your next steps carefully, Mayor. We, the people, are watching. Thank you.
Your comments have been entered into the record, so facts are important.
Yeah, and you allow me.
Excuse me, I'm talking right now. Your time is done. I'm talking right now. I'm talking.
Okay, you don't have to talk to me like I'm a toddler.
You are interrupting me. And the village does not address personnel matters in the public record.
Now, next, Scalzo photo of YouTube. He speaks. Now, he's not a professional speaker. He was very, very nervous. And that's all good. God bless him. Courage is when a man or a woman feels the fear and does it anyway. And God bless Scalzo Photo for having the courage as a man to get up in front of the mayor and the village board of trustees to speak his truth, to redress the government. Because he did what millions of people don't do. And I am so proud of Scalzo Photo. So watch this. Unfortunately, the mayor was so disrespectful. She was not listening. She's just looking at the clock, waiting for the clock to run down. She could tell him, okay, goodbye. Make sure to listen very carefully as Scalzo Photo exposes the brutal police officer, Kenneth Baker.
We have 3 minutes.
SCALZ, and the website is scalzophoto.com for my contact information. The clock. Just let me know when it's time to ring up. So, Officer Burke has 0 lawsuits. Excellent. Officer Kenneth Baker has multiple lawsuits over $300,000. Do you ever how abusive you have to be to get up to $300,000 in lawsuits? Well, many of them are very graphic and disturbing. Officer Burke has, 6 complaints during NYPD? Not that much. Baker has 43 complaints. Now, sure, you might say, we don't know if they're true or not, but where there's smoke, there's fire. So I think it's important to look into these things. And we've been trying to bring these up to you for a while, and communication hasn't been effective. But, so we originally became, I'm nervous, sorry, but, aware of this when the gentleman got a false ticket, which I spoke to the 2 attorneys, and they said Baker gave him a false ticket. It was I'll give you the moral argument and then the legal argument.
You have a minute and a half.
All right, be quick. So I spoke to 2 attorneys, and they said, well, first of all, the moral argument. Giving someone a 5-point cell phone ticket for safely pulling to the side, that's not what the purpose of that ticket is. It's designed for a moving vehicle to prevent people from getting into a car accident and killing a family, or driving into a telephone pole. That's what the 5-point ticket is for. So Officer Baker abused that law to give a false ticket to the gentleman over there. And the legal argument is that Baker either doesn't know the law or lied, because in a non-commercial vehicle, the vehicle has to be moving. And both the prosecutor and Baker said that they're trying to use, I highlighted it, The highlighted part is for only commercial vehicles, and just this first sentence is for non-commercial, and they were trying to apply this. So I'm going to speak to the prosecutor as well and figure out. And actually, this lawyer here, Stacy and Eddie, she's wondering if, she said, either the prosecutor doesn't know the law or he lied. Or Baker doesn't know the law or he lied. And I guess that's it. So thank you for listening. But 35 might as well use it. I guess and I appreciate you listening this time. And actually, when you did the intro, you were a little more welcoming to out-of-towners. When you did the video with the gentleman over there, it was very tense. So this is, in my opinion, an improvement. Maybe this is just my opinion. Although, well, how can I end this?
12 seconds?
Yeah, so that's about it. And I think most police officers have close to 0 lawsuits, and to have 8 with close to $300,000 is a problem. And if you have past lawsuits, if you have past lawsuits,
entered into the record. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak?
3 minutes, starting now.
No, wait till I'm in front. Don't take my time, like you did last time.
So, name for the record, or do you decline?
No, no names, no name. And I reclaim my 10 seconds that I've lost. Mayor Foley and Village Board, you have so much information with which, if you were doing your job and protecting the security of this village, you would instantly fire Kenneth Baker. Don't take my word for it. He was a village resident who contacted me a few days ago. Dear Leroy, thank you for exposing him, Cold Spring, New York police officer Kenneth Baker. This man has very intense power trips and serious anger issues on a scale so astronomical it could only have derived from a pathetic personal life. I have 2 personal experiences with him where somehow he managed to set the world record for the most police procedures and regulations humanly possible broken within 0.001 seconds. Both incidents occurred when I was driving around with friends in the village eating fast food or gas station snacks we purchased. The interaction consisted of Officer Baker jumping straight into claiming I am shoving drugs into the seat to hide them. He would target me in front of my friends, demanding I get out and allow him to search me all over. Completely illegal. He searched my car seat 7 times and laughed and made fun of my parents for having only 1 working car. All before the basic procedure of asking me for my license registration. After 20 minutes of grasping for straws to find something wrong and failing, Officer Kenneth Baker made me drop off my friends and follow me home to speak with my father. And you're more interested in that timer than you are in hearing what I'm saying. You're thinking disgusting. He started telling him that I probably had illegal things in the car after he had already confirmed this wasn't the case 7 times. And also other random lies in a failed attempt to embarrass me in front of him. And basically, I've come to realize years later, he is a man-child, Officer Baker, who uses the power of being a police officer to satisfy his massive power trips. I am always respectful when speaking with officers. However, upon hearing Officer Baker's tone of voice for the first time he made contact with me, I was so in fear of having been assaulted that I made sure I was extra compliant with every demand, no hesitation, no matter what. And in closing, he's an overall terrible human being and should be realistically be in jail after looking at the record. But I guess corruption is corruption. Then he ends with, also, just because it's funny, Mr. Baker, if you are reading this comment, you are a fat loser, ha, ha, ha. That's a quote from this gentleman. Sincerely, a deeply concerned resident of this our beautiful village. So do the right thing. Finally, you have all this information. Keep this safety and security of the residents here, the business owners and the visitors, secure. Get rid of this predator, this criminal. And you know the facts. So will you go on the record now and fire Kenneth Baker?
Time is up. Thank you very much.
Will you go on the record now and fire Kenneth Baker?
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Coward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are kind of a coward, Michael Warren. These are really serious accusations against the police officer, and you just don't hear it.
Don't touch me. He just put his hands on me. Second time. I'm not doing anything to you. He came in my space here. Why did you go hands-on with me? Again, I'm just speaking. I had my time to speak in a public session, and you went hands-on. This is the second time in this place
cop that's going hands-on here.
It's not he's speaking. It's not disorderly conduct. You see, they always escalate. They escalate. And
They escalated.
And they blame you.
It was done.
Well, let's clear.
Receive the information, everybody. Just receive the information. That's it.